Good morning. This is your wake up call.
It's time to wake up, Wisconsin.
Wake me up!
All right, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Here's your host, Josh Albrecht.
Churio out to right. It's back. It is gone. His first home run in a month, and we're tied 1-1.
Supposed to know that to the day. Took a catcher with 3 months.
Drive to center by Vaughn, and Henry A. gives the Brewers the lead.
In the first place.
There's basic back up the middle by Churio. Platt around third. Throw is cut off. It's a 2-run fourth inning for the Brewers. Lara to the left side, a base hit. Contreras will come around and score. It's 4-2. High pop-up, third base side. Hamilton's got room and foul ground. And the Brewers take down the Pirates 4-2. 70 wins, the fastest in franchise history. And they even this series up a game apiece.
And how about that job that Henderson did? Brewers are 13-2 when he takes the mound.
Man, the mornings are so much better when the Brewers win baseball games.
We've had 70 good mornings.
That's right. Hey, that ain't half bad. Good morning, Wisconsin. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht here. Aaron Morse alongside. Happy to have you in as well. Tons of things to get to on today's show. I am back in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tons of things to discuss. Was great being up there at Packers training camp the last couple of days. Things to report happening there as well. A lot of good things. That got us through. I feel like Monday was a little rough. Yes, Tuesday was better. That's why we can't wait too long on each day, because things do change and different things happen, and that's exactly what we're going to get to.
Hey, what happened?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. First and foremost, the Brewers win their 70th game of the season. They have the best record in baseball. I know. The pessimist part of your brain is saying, yeah, but we had the best record last year. How did that end up? Well, you can only right now focus on winning the games in front of you. And the Brewers got to 70, continue being the best team in baseball. Logan Henderson on the mound pitched well last night, gave up 2 solo shots to the Pirates, but otherwise did well. I was curious, were you thinking like, oh, I know he went 6, but could we bring him back out for the 7th before they put Uribe out? Or it was, you get through the 6th and that was going to be his night? Because he dealt in that 6th inning.
6 is probably good. I think we're always asking for 6, and then we're like, oh, you could go up for 7. I mean, 83 pitches, he probably could have.
That's what I'm saying. 83, and in that last inning he pitched, it's not like they were 3 deep flyouts. He struck guys out.
I'm good with it because they had Senzatella, Uribe, McGill to go 7, 8, 9. If they didn't have those 3, then maybe I'd say, all right, maybe see if you can push them a little bit. But you have your 3 now with Senzatella in the mix. You have your 3 shut-down relievers that are going to come in and give you a 0 every time, or so you presume. I'm good going 6, getting them through the win. Now, today, I don't know, are all 3 available? Maybe not. I guess we'll see. So maybe if they could get 7 out of the starter, I don't even know who's starting. Usually I know who's starting. Is it, you know who it is?
Who is it?
Kyle Harrison.
He's
back.
Yep.
So maybe he doesn't go. Maybe he doesn't go 7 in his first start back. So maybe it's an Ashby day today.
I'm curious about the decision to push it or not. Right? Like, I'm someone that's not against letting a guy go back out there and test it.
I want guys to go back.
You can have a guy warming up, and if he gives up a base runner right away, okay, then you bring in the reliever.
I think
if he goes back out there and he's still cooking, let him cook.
I think part of it is that the Brewers have not beaten the Pirates this year. What is it, 6-1 coming into last night, or 5-1? Yeah.
Yeah.
So They
Now-
struggled.
now-
I think Murphy
Yeah, 1-6.
and Hook were just like, all right, we're beating them. And they just said, we're going to throw our best 3 relievers at you. Good luck scoring a couple runs. I think that was probably the idea. I would, if we're in a vacuum and Logan Henderson is going 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, and one of them is a skyscraping home run that barely gets out.
Right, and that was almost foul.
I'm feeling pretty good about him with 83 pitches. Like I would send him back out for the 7th to see how he does.
Yeah.
But I also am like, okay, 97 pitches, he doesn't need to be taken out yet. Like he could go another out if he's pitching well. Yeah.
I think that was kind of the difference, though, of them not wanting to push things, not looking at fatigue, probably saying this is why we went and we got an additional reliever and got an additional arm so that we didn't have to push our starters. I would hope that if that was more of a must-win situation game, that they put him back out there when he's dealing and keep Henderson going as much as you can.
I think you're going to be disappointed then.
I'm sure.
Because if Senzatella, Uribe, and McGill are fresh
available,
and ready to go,
yeah,
6 innings and right to those 3 guys.
Well, and the big thing that we've been asking for beyond pitching, because that's all that the trade deadline ended up being was pitching, was a bat. We need someone to wake up.
I forgot about Bo Naylor.
You're right. So like I said, we were looking for a bat. Jackson Chourio had his first home run in over a month.
A month to the day.
Oh, it was exactly a month.
It was exactly 1 month.
What is that for him now?
14.
14 home runs for Jackson Chourio. He ended up having a 3-hit night. He had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Clutch game, too. And, man, part of me was just, I don't know if you heard any of the radio call, too, but they were talking about, if Chourio can get on a heater, like, look out. Like he's
when
that
he
type
first
of
came
player.
back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like that's all this team needs. And I think the Brewers need that know that is, if they can get 1 or 2 guys to just get hot again, they can make it work.
They don't even need someone to get hot. They just need to get guys back to normal production in terms of Chourio, Contreras, Yelich. Those guys, just normal production from them. They don't even need to get hot. They just need to be a normal baseball player, normal for what they do as players in a general when they're on. When they're on and they're going good, just they don't even have to hit 5 homers in a week or whatever.
Right.
Just hit 1. I don't know.
Speaking of 5 homers, that was Vaughn's 5th homer that he hit a moonshot to center field, 417, I heard, was the distance on that.
With Henry Antanasio in the booth.
Yes.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah. That last name sounds familiar.
It's Mark's grandkid, I think, now. Just born like a couple months ago.
How much money does he have in comparison to Sand? What's his allowance?
He probably is paid in sand. His inheritance is in sand.
Don't like that.
It's like, hey, welcome to this world. Instead of setting up a fund for you, we've just, in your piggy bank, here's a nice pink pig, and in it, we've got you sand.
No. We joke, of course. We need him to become a multi-billionaire so that when he takes over the team, he can spend his money.
Or just become Hank A., as in the next Hank Aaron.
Yeah, that would also help. Pratt had 2 hits, and then the big story.
Hey, what happened?
Christian Yelich. So before the game, it was announced that Yelich was going to be in the 7th spot in the lineup, which had a lot of people going, okay, it's about damn time, right? That you move Yelich down and shake things up. Do something. I understand that he's Christian Yelich, but you got to do something. And then that didn't last. And then, who was it? Bowers? Someone got scratched.
Bowers
got scratched, and then he's back up to 5th. Still not like leadoff, right? But he's not in the 7th spot anymore. He goes up to 5th, and he goes 0 for 4. What are we going to do with Christian Yelich? Right? That's one of the big topics of conversation has been it been all season? Like literally the entire season? If not the majority.
I mean, the beginning of the season, he was hitting pretty well early on in the season.
Well, either way, Murph had a suggestion, I'm going to say that, on how fans should be approaching Christian Yelich.
I heard a couple fans today, kind of start getting down on Yelly, and I know some of you guys are talking about the last this many games or that many. Like, look, guys, this guy's meant unbelievable amount to our organization, and the way he leads in there, you guys don't get to see. He doesn't need my protection. He doesn't need me to speak up for him, but he needs encouragement. So I'm asking the fans to understand this guy. Remember who this guy was. You know what I mean? I don't know how many MVPs the Brewers have had in their past history. MVPs. I mean, I'm just saying, Yelly, like, God, he basically won 2-2. If 19 he doesn't go down at the end, he wins that. So let's not forget what he's done. And that doesn't give him the grace to not, if he's in the lineup, he's got to perform, and he will. We just can't start piling on when this guy's done a lot. He deserves the respect, and hopefully our fans understand that. That's when, again, if we're going to thread the needle, we need Yelly.
Yeah, so a lot of good points made there, right? Again, I'm going to say, hey, don't tell me how to fan. Don't tell me how to fan, Murph. Although, on the Growth Law video stream this morning, we already had Eric from the Prairie chime in, said, if fans are booing Christian Yelich at the park, I hope the Brewers never win a World Series. You take that back, Eric. Yes, he's not good right now. Why have Wisconsin fans become such crybabies? All right. Everyone take a deep breath. All right. First of all, fans are passionate. That's always been that is the nucleus of the phrase of don't tell me how to fan, is that I don't get paid to be a fan. I choose to pay to be a fan. I pay with my time. I pay with my emotion. I pay with my money to be a fan. I invest myself in something that is out of my control, except for everything that's, superstitious and works. But all of those things are a reason for me to be able to feel how I feel about the team, about a player, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think that there's a big difference between being in the moment and being frustrated with a player and still appreciating what he was. For Murph to go and say, I just want fans to remember what he was. Well, sure, but what about now? Like, I'm not going to stand up and applaud every time Christian Yelich comes to the plate now based on what he did 7 years ago, right? Doesn't that just feel a little weird to ask the fans to have that mentality? Asking them to have patience, sure. You can ask that. You can say, hey, he's working through things. He's a leader of the clubhouse. He's a veteran presence on this team, blah, blah, blah. All of those things are valid points.
I really just think he's asking fans not to boo the guy, which I think is very fair.
I don't know. I'm not going to tell people how to fan.
You're booing one of the best players in your franchise's history. That doesn't come across very intelligent.
But
no matter how bad he's been, that's like Robin Yount getting booed.
Yeah, but not like, that's my point. I think if Christian Yelich comes back in a Legends game, he's not getting booed.
Right, but let's say in 87, let's say Robin Yount had a 20-game streak where he had 2 hits. People aren't booing him. He's Robin Yount.
Yeah, I mean, also, Robin Yount is a Hall of Famer, completely different situation. But I understand your
Christian
point.
Yelich is
a former MVP,
up there in terms of best Brewers ever.
It's true. I think the booing, too, and this is why I talk about it being emotion and passion, the booing is coming from a source of frustration, which is difficult because obviously Yelich is frustrated too. But it doesn't change the fact that something's got to be done. Something needs to change. This team, these fans, this city, this state is so desperate to have a championship that frustration will boil over when you have that type of situation.
Yeah, I just find it a little too disrespectful for a franchise,
Which
the
is
face
fair.
of the franchise, and again, one of the best players ever. If it is Garrett Mitchell or Sal Frelick or Jake Bowers or Andrew Vaughn or Joey Ortiz, like any of those guys, I'm way more okay with booing them. You can be frustrated with Christian Yelich. I would say just sit there and stop cheering for the guy. Doesn't mean you have to boo the guy.
Right. Now, for the record, like I wouldn't
I think
boo him.
some guys earn the right to not be booed.
Okay. I personally, I wouldn't boo him.
I would not either.
I'm not going to tell people how to fan.
But I've certainly booed people before that on my team that I'm rooting for. I don't think actually Brewers necessarily, but Packers I definitely have.
Yeah. I
can't
don't know.
remember
I don't know that
Yeah.
I've actually been in attendance and booed my own team at any point.
It was probably a couple years ago, and they were not playing very well, and they had it was, you know what it was? It was that Jets game years ago when the Jets put on the cheeseheads after the game because they just destroyed the Packers 31-10 at home. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but I booed at halftime of that game because I was getting bad.
Yeah, and I remember that there were some players of Packer games that have said, yeah, we got booed and we deserved it.
It's fair. I mean, booing is fair, I think, for most of the time. This is one where I wouldn't. But hey, if you're going to boo, go for it. I just think you're wrong.
That's you.
That's all.
That's on you. All right, other things happened yesterday.
Hey, what happened?
Quickly staying in the world of baseball, Freddie Peralta made his debut with the Rays. He went 3 2/3, 9 hits, 7 earned runs.
Oh my!
Sounds like kind of a Freddie Peralta start.
Yeah.
And anyone that had any
figure.
thought that it's just because he was with the Mets. Well, the Rays are saying no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Now who knows? And also, I feel bad for Freddie.
It was in Colorado.
True.
So the altitude probably doesn't help him.
Yep.
But it was his first start, so maybe he's got to get acclimated with the Rays and what they want him to do as a pitcher. But not a great first start.
No. And again, I would have preferred that he do well. There's no reason for me to cheer against Freddie Peralta when he's with the Rays, unless we're playing them in the World Series, which would be absolutely awesome to have to cross that bridge. So not worried about that at all, but do kind of feel bad for Freddie, and at the same time happy that the Brewers did not bring him back. I think that a lot of fans were okay with not bringing Freddie back, and obviously we heard that he was never even on the Brewers' radar as a guy to be brought back.
Hey, what happened?
Well, the Cubs and the Dodgers met again yesterday. That was a big game after the first game of that series. The Cubs beat the pants off of the Dodgers. They put up 10 runs in that first game. And then in game 2, it was Skubal. Skubal was in on the for making his debut for the Dodgers against the Cubs. He pitched well, not well enough, and the Cubs beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers take their 5th straight loss. Here's why this is frustrating for me. The Dodgers are going to be there. The Dodgers are going to be there regardless of what happens right now. They are not going to free fall into a position to where they're not in the postseason. It's not going to happen. The Dodgers are in a much better position than the Brewers are in their division. There's a way bigger gap. The Dodgers are going to be there. So as hard as it was, you were a Dodgers fan against the Cubs last night and in this series. You wanted the Dodgers to beat the Cubs to help create that gap, even with Skubal, who we have all gained hatred for over the last 48 to 72 hours. And the Dodgers can't get it done. They lose their 5th straight. The Cubs stay 5.5 back of the Brewers. Frustrating. I'm not really reading into a ton of this being a resurgence for the Cubs. I'm also not reading too much into it of this being the Dodgers completely falling apart. It was just a frustrating, man. The Dodgers can't help us out at all. They're going to take Skubal. They're going to lose with Skubal to the Cubs. It's all in all sucked. That whole part of my night sucked. I got way too frustrated about the fact that the Dodgers couldn't beat the Cubs, and now have lost 5 straight.
Don't worry, I'll root my heart out for the Dodgers today. For everyone else,
Good.
I was going to root for a tie. No longer.
You can't. Still weird that you're doing that on your birthday. And then
It's going to be a great game.
And then quickly, some Packers news. Micah Parsons talked yesterday about his comeback, and that news is absolutely worth playing.
I think, to say you're going to be the same player as, I think when you come out of these situations, you're either going to be better or you're worse. And for me, I've done everything I possibly can to be better. So, I think people are worried about, if I come back, I just feel like people should just be worried about, how I'm going to be when I come back. That's kind of like my mentality and how I feel and how I'm going to approach when I'm back is people are worried about the knee. They should be worried about how I'm going to play when I get back. The anger, the frustration, the things that I'm about to let out because, how long it's been since I played. So I think that's what people should really worry about, like how great is Micah going to be when he gets back, not about when I get back, because that's the short term. It's about how great I'm going to be, how I can help my teammates, and how far we're going to go into a playoff run.
Man, that mentality of that man, again, like he could say anything, and I would be terrified of just like his look, mindset, all of it is just like Hunter. Like
Get that man some toes. Let's go.
Seriously, at this point, like whatever you want, man. Whatever you want. What a comment of people shouldn't be worried about when I come back. It's the anger building up inside of me.
How good I'm going to be when I come back.
Oh, daddy. Oh, I can't wait.
Should be our electrifying sound.
It should be.
He's not very electrifyingly sounding.
Yeah, but the words,
yes,
the words are there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we want to know, how'd you sleep? Let us know, how'd you sleep? Are you, we already have some text on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line about the Yellowstone, but we want to know, how'd you sleep knowing the Brewers finally get a win against the Pirates of all teams and much more? Let us know, Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. That and more when we come back on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi for one price for 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morris alongside, and you guys on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Fired up this morning. Appreciate it. This is How'd You Sleep on the show. We want to know how'd you sleep last night. The 608 chimes in, says, I didn't sleep very well, guys. Even though the Brewers won, those Cubs got me feeling nervous, and that is not good. And that immediately goes against a point made from the 920 that said, I was not cheering for the Dodgers last night. I want that number one seed, so I slept great. I am not to the point, Aaron Morris, where I'm going, I'm worrying about the number one seed right now. First of all, I'm fine having the number two seed. I just want one of the top two.
If you get the one seed, you're probably playing the Cubs again in the NLDS. I know a lot of fans who don't want to do that.
Right.
So maybe you are hoping for the 2 seed.
Yeah, it's something. I would like both teams to lose. That can't happen. So if I've got to pick my poison, I think I would like to extend that gap between the Brewers and the Cubs a little bit more, having that be the focus right now. A lot of people chiming in with their thoughts on the comments from Murph in regards to booing Yelich, some boos being heard. T in Lacrosse said those were Pirates fans booing. Those weren't even Brewers fans. I don't know about that. If it wasn't Brewers fans, there's still plenty of Brewers fans that were saying, good riddance, he should be booed. And we have one of those guys on the phone right now. Brian fired up this morning. Brian, thanks for calling the show.
Hey, guys, I think the Milwaukee media market is part of the problem. I mean, you guys put these guys on plateaus. This isn't the 70s or the 60s or back before my time. These guys are guaranteed contracts. They don't, I mean, maybe a few percentage points, but most of these players don't care. There's no loyalty anymore. If Yelich hasn't produced in about 3 years consistently like he did the 3 years when they got him from a couple years when they got him from Miami, the guy 2 nights ago swung at a ball so far out of the zone that he was swinging one-handed. He looked like a granny swinging at playing from a nursing home. No disrespect to grannies, and it was just terrible. He just looks lost at the plate. Maybe he's hurting, and he's too professional to say anything. But you guys got to be brutal. If he was right now hitting 340 with 30 home runs and 90 RBIs close to Yordan Alvarez numbers, trust me, he could care less. And if he was hitting that thing, and this is the last year of his contract, he's not re-signing with the Brewers. There is no loyalty. The fans deserve the boo. If we don't produce at our job, we're going to get fired. And they can't fire these guys. They're all guaranteed contracts. And one other comment, and you can, I'd like to hear your answer after I hang up, is that the Brewers, by not getting a legit hitter, it's going to come back to haunt them. You can get all the pitching you want. You still have to score to win. And that the pitching wasn't the problem in the championship series against the Dodgers last year and the year before when he played the Dodgers. It's hitting. They have no clutch hitting. And you're going to tell me you're going to feel confident in a 2-2 game in the top of the ninth in Game 7 if they would happen to meet the Dodgers again, and you got Yelich at the plate with the bases loaded and he strikes out, and then somebody hits a dinger in the bottom of ninth and they go on to the World Series. This is what happens. You need a legitimate bat. You can't this nickel and diamond and double steals and hit and runs and suicide squeezes and all this is all great stuff in the season. But when you go up against Hall of Fame pitching staffs like the Dodgers, the Cubs even really juiced themselves up with pitching. They got hitting. Both teams got hitting. The Brewers team hitting is marginal. And when nobody hits, nobody hits. And that's when you could use the dinger to get you over the hump for games when everybody else is hitting. And I think this is going to come back to haunt them. We're in the same position. Pitching hasn't been a problem for the last 2 or 3 years. It's hitting. We need a hitter, and we need somebody with average. That deceiving 300 batting average by Vaughn is misleading. He missed a couple months. He's not going to be hitting 300 by the end of the year. And it's frustrating because I'm a Brewer fan. I mean, we're dying, like you said, we're dying for a win. It's worse than the Knicks. The Brewers have been so close tasting glory, and it's like they're happy to get there. And I listen to Ananagio again, and he's dancing in the seat like, he's got the greatest team in the history of baseball. We need a hitter, and maybe 2 of them, but at least one.
Brian, thanks for the call.
So much to dissect.
Made it through without taking a breath. The lungs on that guy. Andy just said, man, that Brian guy talks fast. He sure did. All right, tons of things there. Obviously, that's a feeling on Yelich, right? That's one side of the coin. A bunch of people do feel that way. The 414 said every time I see Yelich come up to bat, I say that's an out. Listen, then there are people that I don't think that anyone is sitting here happy with Yelich's performance, including Yelich. That was the one thing that I had a problem with what Brian said.
Yelich is one of the guys who cares.
Right. When he said that Yelich doesn't care, he just got his money and whatever. That's not it. I don't buy that at all. I don't buy that Yelich doesn't care, doesn't want to win, isn't having that a focus, isn't self-aware of what he's doing at the plate for this team, how he's not contributing. The fact that if he wasn't the face of the franchise, highest paid player, he would have been sent down or DFA'd. He's aware of all of that. I'm just wondering, how is he has to get past that.
He could have left Milwaukee. I mean, he wanted to be here. He could have went in free agency and not signed an extension with the Brewers. He could have done that. So he does want to be here. And Brian also said that he hasn't been last year he nearly hit 30 homers and had 103 RBIs. Christian Yelich did.
Correct.
So that is on par. In 3 years ago, not as good, but 20 homers and 76 RBIs while hitting 278. That's a pretty good year. I mean, he has been better. This is more like 2020 Yelich, and that is a problem. Certainly is a problem. He has to be better. There are also plenty of designated hitters across the league this year that Christian Yelich is doing as good or better than.
Right.
Just to name a few, Kyle Manzardo, Jorge Soler was just DFA'd yesterday, actually. A couple other ones, Eugenio Suarez, Marcelo Zuna, Kerry Carpenter, Salvador Perez. Christian Yelich has a better OPS or OPS plus or one weighted runs created plus than all of those guys at DH. So he is nowhere near the worst DH in the league. There are plenty of players making as much or more than Yelich that are struggling just as bad. You know who has a lower OPS than Christian Yelich? Mookie Betts.
Oh, of the Dodgers.
So,
right. And do you see any of them, but I'm just saying.
And it is a little different because they have a super team and
right. They're not relying on Mookie Betts as much.
Yeah, they can have Mookie Betts struggle. But all I'm saying is that this happens to players. Mookie Betts is a great player. He's struggling worse than Christian Yelich is.
Andy Brookfield says, I was at the game last night, and I did not notice anyone booing Yelich. It could have been a one-off of someone close to the broadcast mics. I mean, it was Murph, though, as well. Like, Murph said that he heard some booing.
I heard some booing.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that there were probably some people in the right spots booing. But, yeah, we'll see if Zabe was one of the people booing. He was at the game last night. The 414 says, I get people are frustrated with Yelly, but booing doesn't help. I guarantee nobody feels worse about his recent performance than Yelly. You don't have to give him a standing O, but please don't boo. That text right there just unlocked something in my brain. Do you remember the booing for Joey O?
Well, yeah.
We literally went through this already this season with people booing Joey O, being frustrated. Murph comes out, defends him, says that the fans need to be better. And then Joey O had like a great game and fans were giving him a standing O. They were so excited. I'm telling you, I feel like too many people are focusing on the boos being personal attacks and not realizing that this is a outlet. Booing is an outlet of frustration and emotion for fans. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm saying that if Christian Yelich turns things around, people will be just as excited, if not more excited, for him. It's not a hatred of Yelich thing. And if it is, well, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Someone on the talking text line brought up, we don't have to give him a standing O, right? But please don't boo. I would also like to add my name to the petition of let's not give him a standing ovation. Remember when the Phillies fans stood up for Trey Turner like 3 years ago and he was struggling? They all started cheering for him. standing ovation, like, hey, you're struggling, but come on. They gave him like a little boost of confidence. Let's not do that. That's cheesy. You can just let him be, and then when he starts hitting better, hopefully, then you can cheer for him. But let's not standing O. That's a little lame, I think.
A bunch of people bringing up, that's right. And before Joey O was McGill.
Yeah, he was
the
booed,
booing of McGill. So it's kind of becoming a trend here. The thing is that if it changes things, then good. Then good.
Yeah,
worth it.
I do think people can get a little boo happy sometimes. It's usually got to be an extended period, a very extended period of time for me to boo. But I get why people are, and sometimes the trigger's a little too easy to hold down.
And this is the last point I want to make about this with the Yelich thing before we move on. Q says on the YouTube stream that he's watching, this Growth Law YouTube stream, said Yelich is paid $24 million and accounts for 19% of the payroll. His 2026 stats do not justify that level of spend. Q, I agree with you, but that is also the take that we have with the mindset we have being in the small market of Milwaukee. Aaron, you just brought up Yelich's numbers in comparison to Betts. They're not looking at what Betts is getting paid and focusing on that. If they're frustrated in any way, shape, or form with Betts, it is purely based on performance. It is not what they're paying him. We only feel that way because we have to count every penny. If we took the contract out of this, I don't think that we would be as upset with Yelich in comparison to other people.
There's a guy by the name of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I've heard of him.
Okay. He has a 687 OPS this year. That is worse than Christian Yelich's. He is making $35,714,286 this year as the third highest paid player by AAV in the entire sport.
Yeah, and keep in mind, look at where the Blue Jays are.
It is worse
this year.
It can
bottom of their division.
Yes, it can get worse. Mookie Betts is the fifth highest paid player by AAV in baseball. Manny Machado, he's seventh highest paid. He's been struggling this year. Fernando Tatis Jr. didn't hit a home run for like the first 5 months of the season, and he is the ninth highest paid player. Giancarlo Stanton's not even playing. He's 11th highest paid. It can be worse. I promise you, it can be so much worse. We just think it's so much worse because we're the Brewers and we don't have payroll.
Let me see here. Annie says, what age level is it okay to boo? I don't like the boo.
You don't have to
boo. You can boo Ben Knopp. Boo. Boo.
You can boo. You don't have to boo. That's fine. Everyone has their different views on how to go about frustration.
The 239 says, Josh can't tell people not to boo because it breaks his number one rule. True. B, if we booed McGill and we booed Ortiz, the results say we should probably boo most of the lineup at this point. If it works, it works. If it works, it works.
Instead of cheering the starting lineup today, boo everyone.
Tell me, hey, did anyone boo Churio? Because he had a night last night, and we'll highlight that in the most electrifying sound of the day when we come back. Stay tuned.
It's time for
The most electrifying.
Sound of the Day.
The most electrifying.
Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
A lot of tough opponents in the month of August.
Churio out to right. It's back. It is gone. His first home run in a month, and we're tied 1-1.
Jackson Churio's home run last night is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Jeff Levering, Brewers TV, on the call there. Jackson Churio is one of those guys, Aaron, that I know you said, like, you just need them to start getting back to where they should be. Churio, Turang, Contreras, that the meat and potatoes of the team. If he could also start hitting the ball out of the ballpark, if we could have a few more threats at the plate of guys that can go yard at any minute, I'm telling you, that is so important for this team. And I know he had a base hit back up the middle, 100-mile-per-hour right back at you that scored a run later in the game. But I'm getting to the point with this team to where seeing a home run, I'm like, thank you. Even if it's 4 runs that you're beating the team with a couple of home runs in comparison to maybe 8 playing the woodpecker game, show me that you can put home runs on the board, that you can get the ball out of the ballpark. It was nice to see that from Churio.
Yeah, when I say that they just need guys to get back to normal, they do need to get some guys hot in the postseason. Like if they're going to beat the Dodgers or even the Phillies for that matter, they've got great pitching. They're going to need more than just guys to be normal during a playoff series. Like some guy is going to have to hit really well, probably multiple guys. But for now, just to be able to keep the season moving along and keep the Cubs at bay and keep the Dodgers around, hang around with the Dodgers, continue to hang around with them for the best record. If you want that, guys are going to have to get back to normal for a while.
The 414 said this team is assembled to not hit home runs. Okay. Churio, Contreras, Vaughn, Bowers. That's 4 of your 9.
And Turang has 16 homers.
And Turang can kind of do both. He's more of your all-around player. But, I mean, even if you don't include Turang, 4 of those 9 should be looked at as guys with enough pop to get the ball out of the ballpark anytime they're at the plate.
We just haven't seen homers. They're all 20 homer a season guys.
Right. They just haven't been this season. So,
and I would argue Christian Yelich is a 20 homer guy, but if he's doing what he's supposed to, he's not. But they were probably hoping that he could replicate some of his 29 homers from last year as well.
Correct. Yelich was supposed to be one of those big home run threats too. So I disagree with that. I think that this team absolutely has the pieces to be assembled to be an all-around team, including hitting home runs.
They just don't have the 40 homer guy. Yeah, they don't have the multiple 30 homer guys that most of these teams have.
But even I don't need a guy that's main thing is hitting 40 home runs. I need the threat. I need that when that opposing pitcher's on the mound, they go, crap, I can't walk this guy or I can't pitch this guy, giving him an opportunity knowing at worst it'll be a base hit because this guy can get one out of the park. You need to have that threat in the lineup. Right now, not enough guys are providing that threat to the opposing pitcher. And that is a problem. They got to figure out a way to get some of these guys back with power. It can't just be all woodpeckers. Again, beggars can't be choosers, though. Right now, we just need offense. All right, coming up in hour 2 of the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call, we're going to talk about Dustin May coming, the news from Adam McCalvy that came out a little bit in regards to the Brewers' offer for Skubal, who we saw did not get a win against the Cubs in his debut for the Dodgers yesterday. That and more of your text on a Would You Rather Wednesday, that coming up as well. When we come back, we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call. We appreciate all of your texts and joining us. Stay with us.
Good morning. This is your wake up call.
It's time to wake up, Wisconsin.
Wake me up!
All right, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. Come on, hop, hop, hop.
This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Here's your host, Josh Albrecht.
Churio out to right. It's back. It is gone. His first home run in a month, and we're tied 1-1.
Supposed to know that to the day. Took a catcher with 3 months.
Drive to center by Vaughn, and Henry A. gives the Brewers the lead.
In first place.
There's base hit back up the middle by Churio. Flat around third. Throw is cut off. It's a 2-run fourth inning for the Brewers. Lara to the left side, a base hit. Contreras will come around and score. It's 4-2. High pop-up, third base side. Hamilton's got room and foul ground. And the Brewers take down the Pirates 4-2. 70 wins, the fastest in franchise history. And they even this series up a game apiece.
And how about that job that Henderson did? Brewers are 13-2 when he takes the mound.
Fastest to 70. Best team in baseball. Love saying that. Love hearing that. Love knowing that the Brewers finally got a win over the Pirates. I don't like the idea of the pesky Pirates. You remember when, Aaron, when the Pirates used to be like the, oh, thank God. All right, well, at least the Brewers are playing the Pirates. I thought it was just that we were focusing on the Pirates were only a problem going in to the All-Star break. When did it become more than just that series, that the Pirates were a problem? Not a fan of that.
I've always hated playing the Pirates.
Well,
they're always just little buggers.
They beat them yesterday. Hopefully they can beat them again today in Game 3 of that 4-game series. Good morning, Wisconsin. This is the Wisconsin Sports Wake-Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morse alongside with you. Appreciate all of the texts and interaction we had in hour 1 of the show on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. We want more of that on a Would You Rather Wednesday. 414-677-1250. There were a few things we didn't get to that we want to focus, though, on in the top of the 7 o'clock hour. First of all, the big news that came out was McCalvy had a report on the offer the Brewers made for Skubal. A lot of people were immediately in talks after the weekend, kind of defending the Brewers or being upset with the Brewers on the Brewers should have given more. They should have, if they really wanted Skubal, they had the pieces. Why didn't they go in more? What were they offering? I went and said that people weren't understanding that the risk is bigger for the Brewers than it is for the Dodgers. If the Dodgers trade prospects and it doesn't work out, they can just go buy people to fill those holes. Brewers can't do that. They don't have the money to do that. And people went, well, then it's going to be a constant problem. You have to take that risk. What were some of the names that were thrown out in McCalvy's tweet that you saw?
McCalvy said that the Brewers offered 3 hitters, 2 of them in the top 100, and he does say one of them was Luis Pena, who's number 18 across baseball, which is higher than Zaire Hope, who is the top prospect given in the Dodgers offers, 7 spots higher to be exact. The other top 100 player is unknown, but McCalvy does say it was not Jesus Madej because the Brewers were not going to offer. He was off limits. He also said that he does not believe it was Luis Lara, who is number 64 in baseball. So that breaks it down, if they're all hitters, to either Josh Adamczewski or Jet Williams.
Okay. Now, Jet Williams, I think we would have been fine moving on from. But you talked about the fact that the Brewers did end up moving Frias, who was one of your 4 untouchables. I know for a fact that Adamczewski is also one of your 4.
He's maybe my favorite prospect. Yes.
So how mad would you have been if he would have been included?
So I probably wouldn't have been maybe as mad. I would have been disappointed because Adamczewski is my favorite of the prospects, but I know that he's probably not the best there's a reason why he's lower down in the prospect rankings. He just vaults higher for me because I was on him early.
Sure. So you have personal.
I'm trying to stake claim to him as like, hey, this guy's gonna.
Yeah. I called it. Yeah.
So I get why he would be traded. For me personally, I would have him untouchable, but I would have been disappointed. But I would have, I guess I would have understood, if he was traded for Tarek Skubal along with Luis Pena. But yeah.
if the trade would have been Luis Pena, Adam Shevsky, and there was another one, right? You kind of broke it down.
Yeah, I don't know who they said that the third player, McKelvey says that the third player is unknown, but the thought is that some sources thought it was maybe a player who was near the top 100 or in some rankings could have been in the top 100.
I thought I saw people putting out there that it could have been Fisher or Payne.
Maybe. Both, according to McKelvey, I'm going to guess it's somebody that is not in MLB Pipeline's top 100 because I think that's what, he was referencing MLB Pipeline's top 100.
Sure.
So not in there, but I think I mentioned this maybe last week or 2 weeks ago on the show that there's all these different prospect sources, right? All these different rankings. And out of the main, however many there are, the main 10, the Brewers had 13 different players in somebody's top 100. So there's probably, none of them were Andrew Fisher. So there's probably 14 players there that are very, very, very good. And now not all of them are pitchers. So you narrow that down. There's,
right.
Only
you go
so
from
many
there.
of those guys. Yeah.
So seeing that report come out from McKelvey, does that, and I'm not saying this is the question I'm asking, and I want your answer too out there on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Does this make you feel any different about Skubal going to the Dodgers? Not saying that you still would have wanted to trade or you were upset that he didn't become a Brewer, but after the fact, the aftermath of the event, when all the dust settled and we started looking at what was traded to the Tigers from the Dodgers in comparison to the move or the offer that is being promoted by Adam McKelvey of what the Brewers put out there, does that make you feel any better as a Brewers fan when it comes to their effort to try to get Skubal?
For me personally, I thought they did have a legit effort. So it doesn't change any. This just reinforces my mind. Hey, they did offer it. They went for it. They tried. In my opinion, Luis Pena, Josh Adams-Shefsky, let's say, and Marco Dingus. I don't know who the other player was, but let's say it's him, who's number 12 in their system. Let's say it's those guys. That is
absolutely worth a 2-month rental.
5 times better than the Dodgers offer for Tarek Skubal.
So I'm not saying that we should all put our tinfoil hat on, but if you're in the same boat as Aaron, which I am, by the way, I'm absolutely in the boat of when I saw that report from McKelvey, I went, okay, then I'm not mad at the Brewers. Our former colleague, Tommy Wirtz, was going back and forth with me on Twitter after this saying, you're mad at the MLB? Why aren't you mad at the Brewers? The Brewers should have gone all in. They should have done this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, right now I'm mad at the MLB because this trade happened, and they're allowing the Dodgers to become this juggernaut. If I'm going to be mad at the Brewers, I'll be mad at the Brewers when I have more information. Well, now I have more information, and I'm not mad at the Brewers. I'm not mad at the Brewers for what they put out there for an offer. It was a better offer. It was a good offer. I think it was not even just fair for both teams. I think it was a move that said we're sacrificing the future for the present, and the Tigers never even considered it because they were so in immediately on the Dodgers. Now, if you think that that was just because they wanted to do right by Skubal, or if you think that tinfoil hat, it was collusion and that this was all some bigger ploy because the owners in general want to get a salary cap and floor put in place, either way, I'm here for it, but I'm not going to sit here after seeing this report from McKelvey and go, yeah, the Brewers should have offered more.
Here's the one thing about the offer that I think can be critiqued. And according to McKelvey, the Tigers wanted a controllable MLB-ready pitcher.
Sure.
In the Brewers, When you offer 3 players and they're hitters, all 3 of them are hitters, that means that you didn't offer an MLB-ready pitcher. So that is where you can probably critique and say, all right, if you were really willing to go all in, you would have included a pitcher. And that's why I'm guessing the Tigers wanted Logan Henderson so bad, because out of the Brewers MLB-ready pitchers, that's the one they wanted.
Sure, that was the one they wanted, right? So if they would have came back,
but the Brewers didn't even offer any pitchers.
But did they? That's my point. Was there a negotiation? Could they have come back and said, Sproat, Gasser? I mean, literally, it would have been, give us your number 3 starter in your rotation.
Brewers, I would have given up Gasser in that trade instead of whoever.
Correct.
You know, like you could have gone Pena, Jet Williams, and Robert Gasser, and that's probably still, to me, better than the
100%.
Dodgers offer. Like, I laughed when this came out. I tweeted it and said, "This is like River Ryan, MLB ready, the guy who's 28 years old and has pitched 4 games in the MLB and has been hurt. Like, he's not. He's MLB ready, but he's not an MLB. He's not good enough. He's 28 and he's pitched 4 games in the MLB, and it hasn't been in 2 years.
Yeah,
and that's the guy. If you're the Dodgers or the Tigers, that's the guy you want to claim as the MLB ready. Like, oh, we've got it now. And then there was some Dodgers fan who was responding somewhere, and I said, offering no pitcher is better than offering River Ryan. I don't understand that. River Ryan is one of those guys that is completely overrated in the prospect system because he is a Los Angeles Dodger. He hasn't pitched in the bigs in 2 years. He's 28. There's a reason why.
And also, he's a prospect. So who the heck knows how this ends up playing out? My point, though, with all of this is that there wasn't that negotiation. The Brewers had absolutely the best offer, to where the Tigers, if we flipped the roles and we had Skubal, and this was what another team was offering us, we would have scolded Mark Antanasio for not going back to them and saying, why didn't you try to just have them throw in a Gasser or a Sproat and then been good to go?
I would be livid if they got the Dodgers offer back for Skubal.
And that's exactly why a lot of people are putting their tinfoil hat on and going, the fact that negotiation didn't even take place, or reportedly, I should say, didn't take place, to where there was, all right, that's a good offer, but we also need
the Brewers weren't allowed to counter, basically, is what you're saying.
Correct, because it seemed like from the get-go they were already set on the Dodgers.
The Brewers gave a very strong offer, a better offer than what the Dodgers offered and got Skubal for. And the Tigers said, yeah, but we'd like a pitcher. Let's go Dodgers. They didn't even give the Brewers, according to sources and reports, they didn't really give the Brewers a chance to counter their offer and make a different offer. I can't even say a better offer than the Dodgers, because they already had one on the table, but a different offer with a pitcher, maybe Brandon Sproat or Robert Gasser.
They did go and get some right-handed pitching, and yesterday they moved some right-handed pitchers for some right-handed pitchers. You did call it, Aaron, give you your flowers. I thought maybe Sproat would still survive and make his way into the pen. Nope, after his last start, he is been sent down to the minors. He goes down to AAA. A lot of people commenting on the post when the Brewers said, here were today's roster moves, saying, hoping that Sproat can figure it out, something in AAA.
In the category.
But he goes down. Garrett Stallings also goes down. You also said, unfortunately, he might be a casualty of needing to have the 40-man open up for Dustin May and Antonio Sensatella. And May had some things to say about becoming a new Milwaukee Brewer.
I was stoked. I mean, being able to come to a team that's leading the division by a lot, very good ball club, and got a really good chance to go to the playoffs and make a run. I'm very, very thrilled to be a part of it.
I mean, good answer, right? Like, I don't necessarily what you'd want him to say otherwise. You kind of focusing on the fact that, yeah, if you're going to be traded, keep in mind he's also a rental. So well,
he's got an option.
Sure.
I think if I'm correct, it's a mutual option, and there's just no way the Brewers will accept that mutual option. So he's a rental.
So he's a rental.
Right. But if they really wanted to, I think his option's like $25 million or something.
Yeah.
With like a $1 or $2 million buyout. The Brewers aren't accepting that.
They're not going to do that, which is exactly why both sides know he's a rental.
It's the same thing with Senzatella, I believe. Either one of the relievers also has an option, but that option doesn't have a buyout, and the Brewers are not going to accept it.
Yeah, I think that's Senzatella as well. But so you're looking at these, but if you're going to be a rental and you're going to go to a team, yeah, obviously you want it going to the team with the best record in baseball. Doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, right? So good to have him on board. Senzatella as well, obviously there.
Can you imagine Antonio Senzatella? I think he was asked after the game, like, how do you feel being here in Milwaukee? It's like, I was on a bottom 3 team. He didn't say this, but he's
right.
I was on a bottom 3 team, and now I play for the team with the best record in baseball. Like, how do you think he feels? Yeah, he's probably thrilled to be in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a change for him, and he was with the Rockies for a long time.
I think most of his career, if not all of it, I feel like.
Believe that, yes, he was.
Yeah.
Started in 2017 with the Rockies. This is the first team other than the Rockies he's played for.
Probably pretty excited not to pitch in Coors as well.
Very true. And I think that fans should look at these moves and be excited about it. I know that a lot of people, you, Sparky, many, many others were upset about having to give up Frias for sure in that trade for them. But don't you think in some way, shape, or form, especially if this ends up being a trade that works for Matt Arnold again, that this was a necessary move? Like, they needed something. They needed to do something. And especially seeing Sproat immediately struggle again, like he had been consistently, all the same problems on his next outing. And you go, yeah, this is why we had to make a move for these type of guys. I understand that the Dodgers are the heavy favorite. I understand that the Cubs got better as well, and that it's going to be a dogfight down the stretch here and in the postseason. But the Brewers are still the best team in baseball. They absolutely have a shot. And if they get hot at the right time, I still stand by the fact that the hottest team can get past the best team. I stand by that. We just need the Brewers to be the hottest team. And we haven't seen that with these bites of the apple. Hopefully that can change, and we still have a shot this season to get the Brewers a World Series win. All right, it is a Would You Rather Wednesday. Aaron and I have our Would You Rather questions ready to go. We want yours on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. They don't have to be sports related, but it's usually better when they are. But what is your Would You Rather question that you have for us this morning? Get them fired in on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. That again, 414-677-1250. It's a Would You Rather Wednesday on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. All of this happening before the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. And we're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is proudly outfitted by Burghardt Sporting Goods, our official apparel partner. Outfit your team or company with custom apparel today at BSG1881.com. Got my new white quarter zip on. Little blue hat action. Feeling good, looking good, Aaron. The new gear, don't worry, I got yours. Yours is coming. Calm down. See you getting all jelly over there.
Yeah.
A little salty.
Right? Walk out of this studio.
Yeah, it's coming. Don't worry. All right, it's a Would You Rather Wednesday on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We want your Would You Rathers. We have ours. I got some good ones for you today, Aaron, I think. Not to toot my own horn. But I'm going to get things started. Would you rather this season have LVN have a great season or Matthew Golden have a great season?
In which am I rooting for team success? Am I rooting for what I would prefer just to watch?
A great season. One of those guys is going to have a great season. The other is not.
Matthew Golden.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it'd be cool to have him be really, really good. And Lucas Van Ness already hasn't been very good in his career, and I'm okay moving on from him. Like if he does well this year, they're probably not going to sign him in free agency. I would guess.
I was leaning LVN because I think that it's more important to the team that LVN be successful, especially when you don't have Parsons in there for however many games he's going to miss. And then when Parsons comes back, if both of them are just destroying, look out. Like, I think it's way more important. I mean, I think you still have Watson, Reed, like Kraft being back. You're going to have options for Jordan Love. But if you could only choose one, I think it's way more important that LVN have a good season.
Yeah, it's maybe more important. But yes, which I'd rather have.
That's true.
I
semantics.
I'm done with LVN, honestly.
Okay. I think I've heard the reason why I put those two together is because at camp, both of those guys have looked great and a lot of positive things being said about both so far in camp, which is good.
Yeah, they've put more into I guess maybe not. I don't know. I guess I have a bias against Lucas Van Ness.
Yeah, you're salty on him.
They should have just never drafted him to begin with. And
okay.
It's now paying off that way or looking like that's the case.
Yeah.
Anyways,
say that now.
Would you rather boo Christian Yelich or give him a standing ovation to try to motivate him?
I would oh man, I was gonna say I'd rather go standing ovation, but now I've got to stand. I have to stand up.
Yep, you have to stand up and
the laziness.
Just start clapping for him and like try to get everyone just be like, come on, Christian, you've got it. You're a good player. Come on. Break out of it and just, give him a nice standing O. Tell him that you're, let him know you're behind him.
I got to stand?
Yeah, standing O. Like for example, what the Phillies did for Trey Turner years ago when they all everybody stood up and cheered for him. They organized a standing ovation. Would you rather organize a standing ovation for him or organize
I would not want to do that
for him? You would rather organize a big stadium full of booing.
No, but I would probably end up out of pure laziness. I'd rather sit and go boo, boo, Christian, liar, than having to stand up and
all 40,000 are booing him, or all 40,000 are cheering.
If all 40,000 are doing that, then I prefer cheering.
You're organizing the standing O.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I would much rather organize that. If everyone's standing, then my lazy butt will get up out of the seat.
Yeah.
Then I would go that route. Would you rather have a 30-minute face-to-face conversation with Micah Parsons or a 30-minute face-to-face conversation with Pat Murphy?
Pat Murphy. Yeah, Pat Murphy for sure. Yeah, much more. I think a lot higher ceiling for a great conversation with Pat Murphy.
The reason why I made sure to include the words face-to-face and 30-minute is because I think with both of those guys, it would be intimidating enough that if at one point you said something wrong, you're going to feel uncomfortable in that conversation. You're going to be terrified of Micah Parsons, and you're going to feel like dad is yelling at you and feel super stupid with Pat Murphy.
Nah, I think I'd give it back to Pat Murphy a little bit.
Oh,
like
okay.
I'd play into
That's
his.
easy to say with
no,
him
but
not
I'd
here.
like play into his ribbing. and I'd push back a little bit, like, all right, yeah, okay, like that kind of thing.
I would probably go Micah. I know that I'd probably end up getting, like, my ass beat, but
I don't think so.
But I feel like
I don't think he's that intimidating.
Micah. Okay. I don't know.
I feel like he's a good dude, like a cool dude.
I think he's a cool dude too. Until you say the wrong thing.
Well, why would you be saying the wrong thing in a 30-minute
Like, you don't know if you're saying. Listen, him and I could be having a conversation about Marvel, right? He was super
and you
into
think
Avengers,
he's gonna
and then I
start
could come
beating
out,
you up because you
listen. I could come out and I could
you didn't
say
like Iron Man 3 and he did.
Right.
No.
I could say, listen, Captain America is better than Iron Man, and he wouldn't even be beating me up, but he'd be like, that is the worst take. How could you possibly? And having that man shout at you,
you'd be
I would
scared.
Be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Maybe if
You're right.
maybe if
Whatever
like
you
Joe
say.
Mixon or Tyreek Hill or Ray Rice was having that conversation with you. Micah Parsons is just a cool dude.
That's a little bit different.
That's what I'm saying. You think Micah Parsons is gonna
No, I don't think he'd actually get violent, but I think that it would be easy for me to get intimidated when, like, you see that passion from a monster like Micah Parsons.
He's just a dude.
That being said, I would still
just like you.
Listen, I'd still choose Micah Parsons because I think that we would have more in common we could talk about than me.
I think the
Pat
ceiling is higher for a Pat Murphy combo.
All right, fair enough.
All right. I was trying to figure out which names I was putting together for this. What was the most even? I was thinking, okay, would you rather Bryce Terang or Jacob Mizorowski, William Contreras, Logan Henderson? I wanted to include Logan Henderson somehow. What was the most? Would you rather extend right now Logan Henderson or Andrew Fisher?
Ooh. Right now.
Right now. Who would you rather lock up for 8 years? Logan Henderson or Andrew Fisher?
Fisher.
Really?
For 8 years? Right now?
Buy him out of arbitrate like what they've done with Jackson Churio and
I'm saying that
Luis Lara.
I'm saying that purely on the terms of the contract. I feel like pitchers just don't. It's just not a thing that the Brewers do, and I've kind of gotten used to that.
Buy Logan Henderson out of all of his arbitration. Give him a couple extra years.
Do you think that Logan Henderson's going to be an elite starting pitcher for the next 8 years?
I don't know about elite, but if you're extending him right now, you don't have to pay him like he's elite.
That's true. I feel like it's a lot easier for the Brewers to find pitchers starting pitching.
I do think Logan Henderson is going to be a very good MLB starter for a long time.
And you and Andrew Fisher, you don't?
No, I didn't say that. I think I'd rather extend Logan Henderson right now.
Okay.
Got better lower ERA and lower WHIP than one Mr. Skubal.
Well, that's true.
Just
Not
saying.
necessarily that.
Just saying.
He also Skubal has a few more. I don't know what is that called. Cy Young.
I know. I'm just saying. Right now, Logan Henderson, 6-1 with a 2.70 ERA, 0.9 WHIP, exceptional WHIP.
Yeah, have him be a Cy Young winner and then get back to me in that competition.
I'm pretty sure has Logan Henderson not allowed more than 2 earned runs. Yeah, he has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any start in his MLB career.
Knock on wood for that. Yeah, good. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Logan Henderson. There's a reason why I didn't want him to be included in any trade for Skubal. I was on board with that. I thought it was ridiculous that was out there. And people were saying they should have traded Henderson. I was like, absolutely not. You can't do that.
He's been fantastic.
All right. I got one more. Would you rather, well, I got a few more, but I like this one. Would you rather have to compete in a bodybuilding competition because you lost your fantasy football league, or golf in a foursome without a golf ball, with a random foursome because you lost the fantasy football? Both of these are legitimate punishments that went viral over the last couple of weeks. There was a guy that legitimately had to go into a bodybuilding competition, try his hardest. He's there in the little mankini on stage, not tanned or bronzed up, looking like a chump, on stage following an actual bodybuilder. And then there was video of a guy paired up as a single in a random foursome, played all 18 holes with no ball.
I saw one without a ball and without a club. He just went out there, no ball, no club, and just pretended like he was swinging and hitting shot. He was just picking where his ball would land. At some point, I think the other guys were like, "Hey, nice putt." They're like, "Hey, that's a good approach." Like they were actually playing into it. But you can't tell them why you're doing it.
Right. You just got to be like,
he was like, "Yeah, I've just been struggling lately. I'm just trying to get the feel back or something."
I would, first of all, which would you do? This is my question for you.
Definitely the golf.
Yeah, golf.
Yeah.
Golf for me, 100%.
Yeah.
I would be like Chris Farley in the Chippendales SNL clip up there.
You're outside. You're hanging with at least one of your buddies. Like there's worse ways.
No.
Yeah, there would be because you got to film it. You got to have proof that you did it.
Well, sure. Well, but you don't have to. They're laughing at you, right? If anything.
Well, yeah, but you got to have. There's going to be someone else there with you to make sure that you did it. So at least there's one other guy.
As embarrassing as that would be, because the other people would hate you, I think that at least you could make it a joke, right? Like I would tee up my non-existent shot, not having a ball, not having a club, and I would be like, "God, dang it!"
Yeah, sliced again.
Sliced it. Like I would completely play it like it was exactly the same.
Did it hit that tree?
Did anyone see that?
Yeah.
Anyone see where that one
fell? Did it come down?
The only thing about that punishment is 18 holes of that.
Yeah,
is tough. That's a lot.
Worse ways to spend than 4 hours outside.
That bit would get old really fast. But I love that. I love what people come up with for fantasy football punishments. It's pretty good. And those were two good ones. All right, what do you got?
I was actually going to go to the talk and text line because this one's good.
All right, go ahead.
Would you rather get $1 every time you compliment a stranger, or $100 every time you insult a stranger?
Say that one more time.
$1 every time you compliment a stranger. $100 every time you insult a stranger.
$100 every time I insult a stranger.
I think so too.
Yep.
Do I see 100 strangers in a day? And do I want to talk to 100 strangers in a day?
I would go to the most crowded places, and because to get to a set amount of money, I could probably in 11 days is Wisconsin State Fair. I could stand by the front gates of the Wisconsin State Fair for all 11 days and make a boatload of money and be done in 11 days.
Yeah, it wouldn't have to be anything malicious either, right? You could just be like, I don't like that shirt. Or you could have better hair. You could have a better haircut.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably get to the point where I'd zone out and I'd probably start saying things that were gonna get my ass beat.
Not gonna lie, those shoes
fat.
I wouldn't wear them. Dude, your teeth.
You smell horrible. It's like that clip of The Office when Michael Scott's trying to roast people and he's like,
I can't relate.
Oh, you've never seen a single episode. He tries to be like have a roast and he's not. He just says like
really
blunt one-liners about people. That's what I would end up getting.
Are you seeing 100 strangers on a daily basis, and will you compliment all of them? That's how many times you do it just to tell one person that their shirt's bad. Yeah. I don't like the color of your shirt.
Right.
Boom, $100. Or I like your smile.
I think the
nice
whole
hair.
point
like
of the would you rather is you'd feel better about yourself as well. You'd have that.
I don't know.
I guess I don't know. I'm more cynical. Give me the money.
I think $100 10 times over every day is going to make me feel plenty fine with myself.
If it was $1 to $10, maybe I'm thinking about it a little bit more. But for me, it's all about the money. All right, hold on. I got another one for you here.
Okay.
If it was your birthday, let's say it was your birthday, would you rather go to a Brewers game in the place where you live to see the team you enjoy and watch them win, or go to Wrigley Field where your least favorite team plays and watch them lose?
Have I ever been to the place that the team I hate has
oddly specific
plays, and is it a very historic place that they play?
I mean, I asked the question.
That's
what
I'm wondering.
No, we're not getting into details.
Have I seen my team play a lot?
The reason why I'm putting this out there, people are going, I don't understand right now. It's Aaron Morris's birthday. He turned 21 today. Just kidding. How old are you actually?
Too old.
29 today, 29 years old for Mr. Morris. And he is choosing, not against his will, he is choosing to go watch the Cubs at their home ballpark play the LA Dodgers. That's his birthday celebration. That's what you decided to do, knowing that the Brewers are in town. You could go celebrate at home.
Never been to Wrigley. Been trying to go to Wrigley for 20-plus years now.
You said that yesterday,
chance.
too.
Yeah.
What do you mean you've been trying? Like, it's difficult to get there?
No, I just have never, done it. I've always thought about it, or back when I was younger, grandparents, stuff like, yeah, we got to go to Wrigley. And
I've been there. I went when the Brewers weren't playing, and it was more out of convenience. It was like I did not make a trip out of it. It
takes an hour to
all
get
right,
there.
look, I gotta check this one off. Julie and I were going to be spending some time in Chicago anyway. I went, let's just get Wrigley out of the way.
Takes
Fine,
an hour and a half
we'll
to
go
get
do
there.
It's
not even that long.
Correct. So for trying to get there for 20 years, I don't feel like it's that difficult to do.
No, I'm not saying it's difficult. I just have never done it. My mom asked if I wanted to do it. She said, let's go.
Shout out to your mom being a good mom. However, you got to set your bar higher for birthday celebration.
I don't care about my birthday.
Clearly, you're going to Wrigley.
I really don't care.
And
about
not
my
against
birthday.
your will. All right, we got
I
more.
got plenty of time. I can come back and can watch the Brewers tonight. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, I could go to both technically if I wanted to.
That's what you should do. You should go to both games so that you can try to wash the filth of Wrigley off of yourself.
Although I'm going to walk into the stadium and everyone's going to know I was at Wrigley because it smells so bad.
Yeah, you're
right?
going to smell like Wrigley.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Maybe stay away. All right, more of your Would You Rathers on the other side as we wrap things up here on the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Happy birthday, Aaron. It's the return of the fan favorite everyone's been asking for. The Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger is back at Wendy's. Fresh, never frozen beef, creamy beer cheese, applewood smoked bacon, and crispy onions, all on a pretzel bun. Add a side of delicious Bacon Pub fries to create a combo so good you'll feel like you're at an actual pub after just one bite. It's available for a limited time only, so don't delay. Get to Wendy's today. Welcome back to the Wisconsin Sports Wake Up Call. Josh Albrecht, Aaron Morris, reading your Would You Rather questions. We're going to do this quickly because I have something else we got to talk about. Annie in Brookfield said, would you rather the Brewers win the World Series, Josh, but you can never go to Disney again, or have the Brewers never win a World Series, but be competitive each year, and you have a lifetime pass to Disney? No, I will never go to Disney again. Absolutely give me a World Series. We talked about this so many times. It's like people are still trying to figure out what that could be that you would choose over a Brewers World Series win. 262 said, if you could go back in time, would you rather the Brewers win in 82 or the Packers win Super Bowl 32? The Brewers. We need one. It's still going to be the Brewers. Even if I didn't get to see it in my lifetime, I would have rather had the Brewers be able to say we have a World Series ring.
I want to be alive for that first World Series win. I say Packers win Super Bowl 32.
No, disagree. All right, before we get out, we only have a few minutes. I was trying to think about what should we make Aaron, and it is his birthday, but what should we make Aaron do when he's at Wrigley Field? He chose to go to Wrigley Field. Andy Brookfield said, hey, Aaron, Wrigley isn't going anywhere. They play there 82 times a year. Very easy to get to, and the Brewers play there as well each year. It's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe
not hard to get to.
I don't understand.
Been trying for 20 years.
I don't get the Wrigley hate.
It's a dump.
Sure, maybe, but it's also a historical landmark.
Correct.
And
You'll
one of the
understand
most historical fields of all time. And
get back to me when you tomorrow.
Okay.
Get back to me tomorrow on.
I'll probably tell you. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty
Okay.
cool to be there.
All right, we'll see. I think that you should make a sign. You should have to make a sign that you hold that says, "I hope both teams lose."
That's not that bad.
Right, but I think you should, that would be awesome, especially since you're wearing a Brewers jersey. You might actually get on TV if you have a sign that says, I hope both teams just lose. You should absolutely do that. And you should have to boo, since we talked about booing.
Boo every time someone gets announced?
Both sides. Just every time someone
comes up
to the
to
plate.
bat. Boo!
Now batting for the Dodgers. Boo! Now batting for your Chicago Cubs. Boo! At the very least, even if you didn't during the game.
How about this? I'll boo Craig Counsell.
You should boo both, like when they announce both lineups.
I could.
Just boo for 10 minutes straight. Of just batting third for the Dodgers. Boo! Batting third for your Chicago. Boo! Just
I will.
boo the entire time.
I'll do it.
Okay, we need
I'll take some
evidence.
video. I'll take some
We need video of you booing.
I don't think I'll be taking a 10-minute video of me booing, but I'll take video of me booing a bunch of players.
The 262 said, is Aaron going to be wearing Brewers gear today? You said
Yep.
yes.
I'll be wearing my Garrett Mitchell jersey.
Garrett Mitchell jersey. Are you wearing a hat? You can have a Brewer hat.
I will not have a Brewer hat on. But
Okay.
Yeah.
So just the jersey, but we could look for the sign saying, I hope both teams just lose. What are the odds that you actually make a sign?
It's probably 0.
Yeah. If I had the materials here, I'd make it and send it with you. Who are you all going with?
Just my mom.
Just you and your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your mom will make the sign.
Maybe
we could get your
She
mom.
might.
Maybe get your mom to make the sign.
She would maybe bring it in and bring it into the stadium and have it. Yeah.
You'd have to hold it though.
Yeah.
Do you know where you're sitting?
Down the left field line, I think.
Okay. Yeah, still a dump. All right. Well, I hope that you have a good birthday, despite the fact that you're going to Wrigley Field. We will make sure to retweet the video of you booing everyone from the game. That will be awesome to see. What's your Twitter handle?
Great content. So I'm going to A Morse Sports.
A Morse Sports is what you can go to for that, or you can. As I said, we'll make sure to retweet that out from @WI Sports Radio. You can see that on Twitter. You can, of course, also be following us across all platforms at WI Sports Radio. You can be watching us on the Growth Law video stream on Instagram Live, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook at WI Sports Radio. Injured Growth gets it. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks again so much to everyone who chimed in with some really good Would You Rather questions, some great conversation around Christian Yelich, the booing, Dustin May getting here, our thoughts on the Skubal trade now that McCalvy had some more. I love the conversation about Micah Parsons and the things he said that people need to be paying attention more to what's going to happen when he gets back instead of when he gets back. I'm so jacked. I'm so pumped, especially coming from training camp. I'm so ready for Packers football to be here, and it's going to be here so soon. Family night is coming up extremely soon as well. Tons of great things to come to that are coming up soon, I should say, including the Steve Zabin Show with Josh Albrecht. Steve Zabin in studio with me for the show. That's right. He is here. That's coming up next. I'm Josh Albrecht. That's Aaron Morse. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll do it all again tomorrow because we are not done yet.